Hey, my name is Logan Watts, and I want to tell you about becoming an electrician. I actually got into the trade when I was very young. I was 14 years old when I got into the electrical field, and that's because my dad owned an electrical contracting business. Now, this gave me a big advantage not only at the opportunity, but also at gaining skill and knowledge from the higher ups in the company because I knew them so personally. Now, at the end of this year, it will mark my first whole year of being a journeyman, and I'm only 19, so you definitely can do it at any age, no matter if you think you're young or old, doesn't matter. Now, the I just want to tell you that electricity is the best trade to get into. I mean, there's so much potential. The big three things that I tell people is the aspects of your life that it applies to. It applies to so many aspects of your life that you wouldn't even realize until somebody presented it to you. Now that's why I'm here. Now the second thing is the pathways you can take having the skills of an electrician. Now the third thing is most important to some people, and that's the money of it. There's so much opportunity for great pay. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is the aspects of your life that it can apply to. Some people would be very surprised, but the first thing is your home, your place of safety. And you always want to feel in control when you're at home, and having that skill of knowing what you're doing when it comes to electric is big, and knowing that you're safe and you can handle anything in your own home. Now, I want to give you an example of a home scenario that you could control if you were an electrician or if you had the skill. And that's this here. This is an outlet, an electrical outlet, or a receptacle as it's technically called. Now say you're at home or you're even at a friend's house and you're having movie night and the TV just turns off and you find out that it's the outlet. You have that skill to fix the outlet, and you're the big bad electrician that saved the day. You see? Now, the second thing, most people wouldn't even know or even realize, really, they see it, but they don't realize it. It's your vehicles. Because if you take the basics of electricity and you apply that to your vehicle, you could fix your vehicle, you could fix other people's vehicles. It's an awesome additive to the knowledge. I mean, it applies to so many things. Now, the third thing, the thing that is most important but most ignored, and that's knowing the dangers of electricity. And it's very, very, very dangerous. I can't stress it enough. Sometimes it could even be fatal, and you can't smell it, you can't hear it, and you can't see it. So it is very dangerous. Now, the second point I want to make is the different pathways you can take with being an electrician and having the knowledge and the skill of an electrician. Now, there's so many different ways you can go. You can start by the basics of residential or commercial electric. That's installers, people that are out in the field doing ground ups and renovations. Now, the second pathway that you could go is it's two variations. It's a service call and side work, as most people call it, which is basically doing a service call, but it's by yourself and you run the whole thing. Now, the third pathway, which isn't the last, but it's the last I'm going to present to you because I am on a time crunch. But the third is going into data centers, which is very good money. But it's not the pinnacle. The pinnacle is definitely owning your own business. That's with anything, is you being the boss, you controlling everything. But the third thing I'm going to tell you is data centers. Now, my dad is the perfect example of pathways because he took the exact right pathways and he worked up positions, not only positions, but pay. And that's the next thing I want to talk to you about. And that's very important to a lot of people because it runs a lot of things, and that's money. Now, the big opportunity in money is very well known, and it's not presented enough because the electrical field has so much opportunity for pay. Because if you think about it, again, using my dad as an example, he started out at the lowest, obviously, as a commercial electrician. A first year apprentice would be the first position you would go into. That's basically the trainee, and then you would work your way up, second, third, fourth, as far as you want to go, being an apprentice, depending on your motivation and some other factors. And then you would move up to a journeyman, which that's what I am. I told you that. That's the next step in your career as a journeyman. And then you go through your years of experience being a journeyman, and then you're a foreman, which the foreman technically is the one that runs the show. He tells people where to go, what to do. But that means more responsibility, more money. Now, the next thing up from that would be, using my dad as an example, just to remind you, he went from being a journeyman up to a foreman, and then he ran special projects, which is basically he was on his own job, ran it, did all the work, had all the profit. He ran the show basically. So after my dad was in special projects, he actually moved to a data center. He was at AEP Data Center, which is a very important facility, being that it controls AEP's data. I mean, if they go out of service for an hour, they're losing millions of dollars. So that was a very important position, but then he moved to the pinnacle, which is owning his own business. So, like I said, the opportunity for pay is endless. He started out at $10 an hour. Now he sets his own salary and the hourly wages, for his employees and everybody that works for him. Now, I just want to conclude this talk by saying I am more than grateful for the opportunity that my dad has brought me and the skilled trade that he has embedded in my head and in my soul. And I am just beyond grateful, and I will take that skill for the rest of my life. And I won't do this forever, but that skill will stay with me. And the three biggest things, and I just want to stress this to you guys, this is the best skilled trade out there. Being that, like I said, I'm saying this over and over so I can put it in your head. The first thing being the different things you can apply to. The second thing being the pathways you can take. The third thing being the money. Now, I appreciate your time, and with everything going on, I hope you stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you very much.